Have you ever felt trapped in a whirlwind of emotions, like you're caught in a storm, and every choice you make only seems to deepen the chaos? In those moments, it's easy to feel powerless, like you're a prisoner of your own reactions. But what if I told you there's a way to find peace amidst the storm, a way to pause time, take a breath, and respond with clarity rather than impulsiveness? It's not a fantasy. It's a practice rooted in centuries of Buddhist wisdom. And it all starts with mastering the present moment. The present moment is all we truly have. Think about it. The past is gone and the future hasn't yet arrived. Buddhist lessons teach us that holding on to regrets about the past or anxieties about the future only weighs us down. Imagine how much lighter your heart would feel if you could let go of that burden. When we anchor ourselves in the now, we create a sanctuary for our mind, a space where chaos gives way to clarity. But how do we do this? It begins with awareness, with a willingness to pause and truly be with ourselves. When emotions flare up, instead of reacting, try this. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Take a deep, intentional breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. Notice the sensation of your feet grounded to the earth beneath you. Listen to the sounds around you, the rustle of leaves, the distant hum of life. These moments of mindfulness are more than just small exercises. They're acts of reclaiming your power, of stepping out of the storm and into stillness. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that our emotions are like waves. They rise, they peak, and eventually they fall. We don't have to be carried away by them. By practicing mindfulness, we can watch the waves without being overwhelmed. This is the essence of Buddhist lessons, the understanding that we are not our emotions, but the awareness behind them. And in that awareness lies our freedom. This practice is not about denying or suppressing what you feel. It's about creating space to observe, to understand, and to respond with compassion for yourself and for others. Each time you pause, each time you breathe, you're not just calming your mind, you're building a foundation of peace and clarity that can carry you through life's challenges. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember this. You have the power to stop, to breathe, and to return to the present moment. This is where life happens. This is where peace begins. And this is the timeless gift of Buddhist wisdom. Mindfulness isn't about silencing the mind. It's about learning to observe it, to notice the flow of thoughts and emotions without judgment. It's a gentle practice of awareness, one that allows us to step back and understand ourselves more deeply. When we embrace mindfulness, we take the first step toward mastering our emotions and breaking free from reactive patterns. This is one of the most profound teachings of Buddhist wisdom, a lesson that invites us to respond to life with clarity and compassion instead of impulsiveness. Imagine this. Rahul, a young entrepreneur, is constantly overwhelmed by the demands of his clients. One day, an angry email lands in his inbox, harsh words glaring back at him. His first instinct is to respond defensively, to let his frustration take over, but something stops him. Instead of reacting, Rahul pauses. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and allows himself to focus on the present moment. He notices the tension in his body and the anger rising within him. He doesn't fight it or judge it. He simply observes. In that mindful pause, something shifts. Rahul is no longer controlled by his emotions. Instead, he calmly drafts a thoughtful and professional reply. That single decision transforms the entire tone of the conversation. What could have escalated into a conflict becomes an opportunity for understanding and resolution. This is the power of mindfulness, a power rooted in centuries of Buddhist lessons. So how can you bring this transformative practice into your own life? Start small. You don't need hours of meditation or a perfect setup. Begin with just 5 minutes each day. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. Feel the air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then leaving your body. When thoughts arise, and they will, don't push them away or get frustrated. Simply acknowledge them, like clouds passing through the sky, and gently return your focus to your breath. Over time, this simple practice becomes a powerful tool. You'll start to notice your thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them. You'll become a silent observer of your own mind, creating a space between what you feel and how you choose to act. This is the essence of Buddhist wisdom, the ability to live with awareness and intention, even in the face of life's challenges. Buddhist lessons remind us that mindfulness isn't about avoiding emotions or denying their existence. It's about creating a relationship with them, one that's grounded in understanding and compassion. Each mindful breath, each moment of awareness, is a step toward a calmer, more centered life. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or reactive, pause, take a breath. Remember that you have the power to observe, to understand, and to choose your response. Mindfulness isn't just a practice, it's a way of being, a path that leads to clarity, peace, and freedom. This is the timeless gift of Buddhist wisdom waiting for you to embrace it. We often tie our happiness to the things we achieve, the relationships we nurture, or the outcomes we hope for. When life doesn't go as planned, the weight of disappointment can feel unbearable, leaving us crushed. But Buddhist wisdom reveals a liberating truth. True freedom lies in detachment. And detachment isn't about indifference or giving up. It's about learning to love and live without clinging. Let me share a story. Mira was a passionate artist, pouring her heart and soul into her work, but every critique, every less than perfect response to her art felt like a personal failure. Her self-worth was tied so tightly to others' opinions that even small rejections left her questioning her value. One day, her mentor gently said to her, "Mira, create for the joy of creating, not for the approval of others." Those words struck a chord deep within her. Mira decided to make a shift. She still cared about her art, but she began creating without the desperate need for validation. She let go of the fear of judgment. Her art flourished, not because she was trying to please others, but because she was finally free to express herself authentically. She found joy in the process, not the outcome, and that joy became her anchor. Now take a moment to reflect on your own life. What are you clinging to? Is it the need for constant approval, the fear of failure, the anxiety of achieving a perfect outcome? These attachments weigh us down, keeping us trapped in cycles of suffering and self-doubt. Buddhist lessons teach us that when we let go of these attachments, we create space for peace and authenticity. This doesn't mean we stop caring or striving. It means we show up fully, do our best, and then release the need to control the outcome. Imagine the freedom that comes with saying to yourself, "I release this attachment. I give my all, but I let go of the results." This practice of detachment, as simple as it sounds, is transformative. It allows us to experience life fully without being enslaved by expectations. When we let go, we open ourselves to the present moment. We start to appreciate the journey rather than obsess over the destination. This is the heart of Buddhist wisdom. A life lived with grace, balance, and freedom. So the next time you feel yourself clinging to something, a goal, a person, or an outcome, pause. Take a deep breath. Say to yourself, "I release this. I choose to live fully in this moment." With each act of letting go, you take one step closer to true peace. This is the gift of Buddhist lessons, and it's one you can carry with you every day. Think back to the last time you reacted in the heat of the moment. Maybe it was during an argument, a stressful meeting, or when someone's words cut deep. Did your reaction make things better or worse? So often, our immediate responses are driven by raw emotion, not reason, and in those moments we feel powerless, swept away by anger, frustration, or hurt. But Buddhist wisdom offers us a profound tool, the power of the pause. In the space between what happens to us and how we respond lies something extraordinary, our ability to choose, to pause, to breathe, and to reflect. This space, though small, holds the potential to change everything. Let me share the story of Ravi, a young manager in a high-pressure job. One day during a tense meeting, a senior colleague harshly criticized his work. Ravi felt anger rise within him, his mind racing with defensive retorts. His instinct was to fire back, to defend himself in the moment. But then, something stopped him. Instead of reacting, Ravi paused. He took a deep breath, and then another. Slowly, the initial wave of emotion began to settle. In that moment of stillness, Ravi found clarity. Instead of lashing out, he calmly addressed the feedback. His response turned what could have been a heated argument into a constructive conversation. This single pause not only diffused the tension but also earned him respect for his composure. Ravi's choice wasn't about suppressing his feelings, but about creating space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This is the essence of Buddhist wisdom in action. Now imagine applying this in your own life. The next time something or someone triggers you, try this simple practice. Pause. Take 3 slow, intentional breaths. Feel the air entering your lungs and leaving your body. Let the emotion rise, acknowledge it without judgment, and allow it to pass. In that brief moment, you'll notice a shift, a sense of control and clarity. This isn't about ignoring your feelings or pretending they don't exist. Buddhist lessons teach us that emotions are natural, like waves in the ocean. They rise and fall, but they don't have to carry us away. When we pause, we create a gap between stimulus and response. A gap where we can act with intention, wisdom, and compassion. Practicing this doesn't mean you'll never feel angry, hurt, or frustrated. It means you'll be better equipped to handle those emotions without letting them control you. Each pause, each breath is a step toward mastering the mind, a step toward living with greater peace and balance. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by a situation or someone's words, remember this: pause, breathe. In that pause, you reclaim your power. You choose how to respond, not just for others, but for your own peace. This is the transformative power of Buddhist wisdom, a lesson that reminds us of our capacity to meet life's challenges with grace and clarity. Life is in a constant state of change. Everything around us, the seasons, our relationships, even our own emotions, is always shifting. Yet, as humans, we often resist this truth. We cling tightly to what feels stable, what feels safe. But no matter how hard we hold on, change is inevitable. Buddhist wisdom reminds us of a profound truth. Everything is transient. This too shall pass. At first, this idea can feel unsettling, even scary, but it's not meant to bring despair. It's meant to liberate us. When we embrace impermanence, we free ourselves from the pain of clinging and the fear of losing. We begin to see life as it truly is, fluid and ever-changing. Take Aisha, for example. After a sudden breakup, she felt as though her entire world was falling apart. The pain was sharp, and the loss felt unbearable. For weeks, she resisted, replaying memories in her mind, wishing she could go back to how things were. But then she came across the teachings of impermanence. She began to understand that her pain, like everything else, was not permanent. It was a temporary visitor, not a permanent resident in her heart. This shift in perspective changed everything for Aisha. Instead of resisting her emotions, she began to sit with them, allowing herself to feel without getting trapped in the belief that they would last forever. Slowly, the heaviness started to lift. She realized that just as joy is fleeting, so too is pain. This understanding didn't erase her hurt, but it gave her the strength to move forward, to heal, and to grow. Now think about your own life. What are you resisting? Is it the end of a relationship, the fear of losing a job, or the uncertainty of a new chapter? Buddhist lessons teach us that when we resist change, we create suffering for ourselves. But when we embrace impermanence, we open the door to acceptance and growth. The next time you feel overwhelmed, try this simple practice. Pause and remind yourself, this is temporary. It will pass. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Imagine the impermanence of the moment, like a wave that rises and falls. Whether it's joy or pain, know that it's part of life's natural flow. This mindset doesn't mean you stop caring or stop feeling. It means you learn to let go of clinging, allowing yourself to experience life as it is. With this awareness, you'll find that even in the face of hardship, there is peace, because no matter how dark the night, the sun will rise again. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that impermanence is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It teaches us that life's fleeting nature is what makes it so precious. By accepting this truth, we free ourselves to live fully in the present moment, to appreciate what we have while it's here, and to let go when it's time to move on. So, the next time life feels overwhelming, remember these words, "This too shall pass." Let them guide you through the storm, bringing you back to the calm, steady truth that nothing in this world is permanent, and in that impermanence lies your freedom. In our relentless pursuit of success, we often find ourselves fixated on what we don't have. We chase after the next achievement, the next milestone, or the next possession, believing that happiness lies just beyond our grasp. But the truth is, this endless cycle only deepens our sense of lack. Buddhist wisdom offers a profound remedy to this: gratitude. Gratitude shifts our perspective from scarcity to abundance, from wanting more to appreciating what already is. Gratitude isn't about ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the beauty and blessings that exist, even amidst difficulty. When we cultivate gratitude, we anchor ourselves in the present moment, and in that moment we discover a simple yet powerful truth. Joy isn't something we need to chase. It's something we can find right here and now. Imagine this: at the end of a long day, you sit quietly with a journal in hand. You reflect on the moments that brought light to your day. Maybe it was the warmth of the morning, sun on your face, the comforting aroma of a fresh cup of coffee, or the unexpected kindness of a stranger who held the door open for you. These aren't grand or extravagant events, but they carry profound meaning when we take the time to notice them. This practice of keeping a gratitude journal may seem small, but it's transformative. Each night, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They can be big or small. The act of putting pen to paper helps you slow down and truly savor these moments. Over time, this simple practice begins to rewire your mind. You start to notice life's blessings more naturally. Instead of dwelling on what's missing, you focus on what's already here. Buddhist lessons teach us that gratitude is a path to freedom. When we are grateful, we release the grip of comparison and dissatisfaction. We stop measuring our worth by what we achieve or accumulate and start recognizing the richness of the present. Gratitude is an act of mindfulness, a way to connect deeply with life as it unfolds. You might be wondering, how does this really change anything? The answer lies in the power of perspective. Life will always have challenges, but gratitude helps us approach those challenges with a sense of balance. It reminds us that even in the hardest moments, there is something to be thankful for. This isn't about denying pain or hardship. It's about choosing to see the light that exists alongside the shadow. So tonight, take a moment to pause. Think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be extraordinary. Maybe it's the laughter of a loved one, the quiet comfort of your favorite book, or simply the fact that you made it through the day. Write them down, let yourself feel the gratitude, and notice how it shifts your mood, your outlook, and your heart. Gratitude, as Buddhist wisdom teaches, is a practice, not a destination. It's a daily choice to focus on abundance rather than lack. It reminds us that life's beauty is found in the present moment, in the ordinary miracles we often take for granted. Let gratitude be your guide. Let it open your heart and fill your spirit. And as you continue this practice, you'll find that joy isn't something waiting for you in the future. It's already here, in this moment, waiting to be embraced. Your breath is more than just the rhythm of life. It's a powerful tool to calm your mind and body. In moments of stress or overwhelm, your breath can become your anchor, pulling you back to the present moment. Buddhist wisdom teaches us to cultivate mindfulness through the breath, using it as a bridge between the chaos of the mind and the stillness of the heart. One technique that embodies this wisdom is the 4-7-8 breathing method. It's simple yet profoundly effective. Here's how it works. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 7 seconds, and then exhale slowly and completely through your mouth for 8 seconds. This single cycle is like a reset button for your nervous system. Repeat it 3 times, and you'll feel the tension begin to melt away. Let me tell you about Alex, a young professional who was facing a high-stakes presentation. The pressure was immense, and anxiety began to cloud his thoughts. Just before stepping onto the stage, Alex remembered the 4-7-8 breathing technique. He found a quiet corner, closed his eyes, and began. With each inhale, he felt his body steadying. With each exhale, his mind grew clearer. By the time he stepped into the spotlight, he wasn't just calm, he was confident, present, and ready to shine. That moment became a turning point for Alex, not just professionally but personally, as he realized the power of mindful breathing. Now, imagine how this practice could help you. The next time stress or overwhelm takes hold, pause and turn to your breath. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, feeling the air fill your lungs. Hold it for 7 seconds, allowing a sense of stillness to settle within you. Then, exhale slowly for 8 seconds, releasing the tension you've been carrying. With each cycle, you're not just calming your body, you're training your mind to find peace amidst the storm. This practice, rooted in the mindfulness principles of Buddhist wisdom, is more than just a technique. It's a reminder that you already have within you the tools to navigate life's challenges. Your breath is always with you, always available, a constant guide back to the present moment. Buddhist lessons teach us that the present is where life truly happens. Stress often comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. But when you focus on your breath, you ground yourself in the now. You create space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. You find clarity, balance, and inner peace. So the next time you feel your heart racing or your mind spiraling, give the 4-7-8 breathing technique a try. Close your eyes, breathe, and feel the transformation as your body relaxes and your mind becomes still. With practice, you'll find that this simple act of mindful breathing can be a lifeline in moments of chaos and a daily ritual to cultivate calm and presence. This is the beauty of Buddhist wisdom. It shows us that even in the simplest things, like our breath, there is profound power. Power to calm, to heal, and to bring us back to ourselves. When emotions run high, it's natural to want to protect ourselves. We build walls, thinking they'll shield us from pain or conflict. But often, those same walls end up isolating us. They keep us from connecting, from understanding, and from healing. Buddhist wisdom offers an alternative, a path of compassion. Compassion dissolves barriers, replacing them with bridges. It creates space for healing, not just for others, but for ourselves. Consider Ryan, a young professional who carried deep resentment toward a colleague. Every interaction felt tense. Every disagreement stoked his frustration. Ryan's resentment became a heavy burden, affecting not only his work, but also his peace of mind. Then he came across the practice of loving-kindness meditation, a core teaching in Buddhist wisdom. At first, the idea of extending compassion to someone who frustrated him felt impossible, but he decided to try. Sitting quietly, Ryan closed his eyes and focused on his breath. He imagined his colleague not as an adversary, but as another human being with struggles of their own. He silently repeated these phrases: "May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free from suffering." At first it felt mechanical, even forced. But with practice, something shifted. Ryan began to notice a softening in his heart. The weight of resentment started to lift, replaced by a sense of peace. His interactions with his colleague became less strained, and Ryan found himself more at ease. This is the transformative power of compassion. Buddhist lessons teach us that compassion isn't just about kindness to others. It's also about freeing ourselves from the chains of anger, resentment, and judgment. When we offer compassion, even to those who challenge us, we release the grip of negative emotions. We create room for understanding, connection, and healing. Here's a challenge for you. Think of someone in your life with whom you felt disconnected. It might be a friend, a family member, or even a colleague. Take a moment to reflect on their life. What struggles might they be facing? What fears or insecurities might they carry? Then close your eyes and silently wish them peace and happiness. Say to yourself, "May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free from suffering." Notice how this simple act of compassion transforms your emotions. The walls of anger or hurt begin to soften. You might not resolve the conflict overnight, but you'll feel a shift within yourself, a lightness, an openness, a sense of peace. This is the heart of Buddhist wisdom. It reminds us that compassion is not a weakness, but a profound strength. It's a practice that heals not just relationships, but also the wounds within our own hearts. It's an acknowledgement of our shared humanity, a way of seeing others and ourselves through the lens of understanding rather than judgment. So, the next time you feel disconnected or weighed down by resentment, pause. Remember Ryan's journey. Practice compassion, even when it feels difficult, and trust that with each act of kindness, you're not just changing your emotions, you're creating a ripple of peace that can transform your world. This is the timeless gift of Buddhist lessons. The understanding that compassion is the key to breaking down walls, fostering connection, and finding true healing.